Good afternoon, everyone. So we will begin this session. Again, these are different kind of cognitive-based questions. Am I audible and is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, so this is a fairly simple question. It's about direction sense. So as we all know, the basis of this, I'll just draw here. What is north, what is south? I mean, you all know that, but so in the cardinal direction, that's the north, south, the west, and the east. What is given here, what we do in this kind of question is we start building upon how as we go ahead. So as per a map, a school is located, there's a school 100 meter to the east of a temple and 100 meter to the south of a temple in a playground. So what is given is there's a school which is 100 meter east to a temple. So what I will do is I will assume, one second. Yeah. What I will do is I'll assume the temple to be here. I'm just making this box for the temple T. The school is 100 meter east. So I'm not worried of the direction. So this is, I'm saying 100 meters. Okay. And this is the school 100 meter east to the temple and 100 meter to the south of the temple is a playground. The south direction is where we have the playground P. This is a school. So in reality, what happens is this is in a map. In actual thing, there's an error in the map, and in reality, in the map, the southwest, the first condition will start now. The southwest is wrongly marked to the north. Where is the southwest in this direction? Just use a different color. Yeah. So the southwest, which is this direction, is wrongly marked as the north. One second. Sorry, one second. I think I did an error. In the certain map, the southwest is wrongly marked as the north. So the north is, sorry, the north here is actually, this is what is written in the map, and the north here is actually the southwest direction, SE. So if this is the southwest direction, southeast direction, I'll just, this is the actual, the blue line that you see are the actual real directions. So north is marked as southeast. The actual southeast is actually marked as north in the map. The red is what the map refers to, and the blue is what the real is. So R, which means real, is blue color, and the map is in red color. I'm just writing it here just for your reference. We'll go back to the blue color. This is the southeast. South, the east direction. South, opposite is north. This is the west. So in reality, in which direction is the playground with respect to the school? The playground is in which direction with reference to the school? Can anybody now suggest in which direction is the playground with reference to the school? Okay, there. Yeah, just I think there are few people joining first time. So whenever you want to answer, just type it in the chat box and message directly to me. Okay. Option. Okay. The school in the initial part, we had taken temple to be the core. In this case, the blue axis will shift at the school center. The school becomes the center, and with reference to that the playground is situated in which direction? Okay, one question. Is the playground sorry, is the playground located in the actual north, south, east, or west direction, or does it fall somewhere in the in between north, east, or northwest, or southwest likewise? So just to make your task easier, chalo, let's make your task little bit easier now. I'll just draw this, and I think you should be able to guess the answer. That it's fairly simple. So this becomes the core cardinal direction then, with reference to the school. Where is the playground? With reference to the school as the center, where is the playground? Now everybody knows the answer. Yeah, it's the west. Clearly, if you can see, the school falls on the western side. Sorry, the playground falls on the western side of the school. If I shift the core from the temple to the school, if we are looking at this like taking the center, the core as the temple, then we look at it in a different direction. But if we say that with reference to the school, how is the playground located is of course to the west of it. So the correct option is option D, this one. In this kind of questions, it is very difficult to answer without actually drawing it. So, you know, initially I had kept my blue cardinal direction in the center. It's better to draw it with respect to where the school is at the center. And once you do that, you know directly what's the answer. It's the west. So yeah, it's Manan who answered it correctly. Manam, Manam. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly. I'm sorry for that. So D is the correct answer. Is this clear? Okay. If you have any questions, you can raise here, or we can move to the next one then. If you want me to repeat, you can also mention here. I can repeat, that's not a problem. All right, thank you. So, yeah. So here, there are these two friends who are doing a high five. A part of that drawing, their hands are erased off in the main figure. You have to identify which is the correct hand position for the two people who are high-fiving. I have a question for you. What should I be looking at if I want to find the answer? What is the clue here in order to find the correct answer? Yes, Madhav, you're correct. We have to look at the thumb. Here in this question, you can actually use your own hand as a reference. So, you know, you can see that the yellow person and the blue person, they are using their right hands here. So you have to imagine yourself in your position and you're high-fiving it to somebody, to your friend. In which position will your thumb be when you're high-fiving together? And in a case where both these people are using their right hands. In the first option, which is A, the thumbs are aligning with each other. Both the hands' thumbs are aligning with each other. In the option B, both the thumbs are in opposite direction with each other. They are not aligning with each other in the option B. In the option C, they are aligning, but they are not, I mean, they are in the same side, but they are not aligning with each other. And in the option D, again, they are on the opposite side to option C, but they are not aligning with each other. So the first question that comes here is, do the thumbs align or do they don't align? Do the thumbs align or do they don't align? Can anybody tell me? Actually, if you see, if both the persons were standing face to face each other, if they are using the same hands, which is the right hand, or even if it is also left hand, it doesn't matter. Both the thumbs won't be aligning with each other. Both the thumbs will be in the opposite direction if they are using the same hand. If they are using different hands, so one person was using a left and one person was using a right hand, in which case we could have got a condition which is similar to what is shown in A, C, or D. But in this case, since both the persons are using the right hands, the thumbs will be in opposite direction, and henceforth option B is the correct one. In these kind of questions, or in any other question where a part of your body is missing, it's the best thing to do is literally take your body as a reference, or use certain clues like how is the thumb aligned, how is the toes aligned, how are the toes aligned, how is the toe with reference to the small fingers aligned if a leg part is missing, or how does the elbow align with reference to the hand. So if a hand is missing in that case, so take clues from your own body, like how is the alignment works in your body, and then literally answer this and orient yourself with reference to the figurines. It's much easier. So in this case, the correct answer is option B. Yeah. Does anybody have any doubt here in this one?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Here you're given 3 figures which are in sequence. You have to find the 4th figure. There, the sequence is basically there is some rule which is getting followed in the figure, and you have to find which is the correct one. So after looking at the 3 figures, 1, 2, and 3, do you what is happening? So how is one figure related to the second to the third? What is the rule here? Anybody? What is the rule? Yes, they are rotating in clockwise direction. All these figures, they are rotating in clockwise direction, and that too 45-degree clockwise, so not 90-degree clockwise direction. So this when rotated in second. So this when rotated in this direction, we get this. Again, this rotates in 45-degree this direction, you get a cross. So the next figure will be a standing one, 90-degree orthogonal, no 45-degree, which of course all 4 are. Then we start with checking 1-1 boxes. So we start with this box, I mean the top box. So this box becomes vertical. So the 2 dots, top black, bottom white, they will be happening on top, which is happening in D, C, and B. So A is wrong, A is automatically eliminated. Then we move to the next box, which is this, top white, bottom solid black. Top white, bottom solid black, top white, and bottom solid black. So option D is also eliminated here. Then we move to the bottom one, which is happening in both B and C are the same. This one also B and C both are same. Then we move to the next one, which is the center one, which is what looks different for B and option C. In this case, the upper one is white color, the lower one is black. So in the next figure, upper one will be white, bottom is black, which is happening in option C. So that is the correct one. Literally go step by step like this. Go from top to bottom, go from each and every boxes that are there. And once you arrive at two options, look at what is different in the two options. In this case, the center box was different, and that's why we started looking at the center box directly. And we arrived at the correct answer, which is option C. Please remember, these kind of questions are actually very tricky. You can get easily confused if you are not doing this systematically. In any design exam, it is really important to systematically crack down, literally systematically crack down on the options. So you have to break the whole figure into smaller parts and then construct the smaller, using that smaller parts, construct the whole figure like we did here. Anybody has any doubt here? Okay. For this question, actually, I'm not keen on finding the correct answer. I will tell you the correct answer, but I would want you to take 5 minutes and search on all these 4 artists. Of course, after doing that, you will be able to guess whose painting is whose. And they are all self-portraits made by the artists themselves. These are all self-portraits of artists made by themselves. Okay. So what I would want you to do is, please take 5 minutes for yourself, but search on the kind of artwork that are made by Picasso, Gauguin, Van Gogh, Rembrandt, all of them. They are really important. Many a times Picasso's work or even Van Gogh's work have been asked. Rembrandt's and Gauguin's work are asked in these kind of match the following type questions. But in Picasso's, many a times, and Picasso's work, you'll be shown like 4 different figures, or sorry, 4 different artworks made by different artists, and you might have to guess that, okay, which is the painting that is made by Picasso. So Picasso's work, which is really famous, has been asked like this also. It's really important, needless to say that. So applies with even Van Gogh's work. So with case of Van Gogh's, you might be shown 4 different figures, and out of which 2 artworks or 3 artworks at times, they belong to Vincent Van Gogh, and you would be required to guess the correct answer. This is the case of finding this kind of questions get asked in 1 or more answers questions, MSQs. Yeah, that is the correct one. The option 3rd is the correct one here. But my suggestion is to take 5 minutes and please Google all these 3 artists. Extremely, extremely, extremely important. All 4 of them, not the 3, sorry, all 4 of them. Yes, option 3 is the correct one here. Yeah, but we will just proceed now. But please make a note of all the 4 artists whose name is written here. You really need to be thorough with the kind of artwork, if not the kind of artwork, their styles. If you can see the 4 artwork which are presented here, Picasso and Vincent van Gogh's work, they're quite distinct, but the color combinations of Gauguin's work versus that of Rembrandt's, they're very different. Their styles are very different, so at least try identifying the style of the artist. So Rembrandt is very realistic in nature. Picasso's work is extremely abstract. Vincent van Gogh's work, you see a lot of these strokes that you are seeing, which are made by the pastels or the colors. And Gauguin's work is extremely dramatic, quite dramatic in nature, with the use of very bold colors that you can see here. Bold yet a balanced composition of bold colors, yet something, which is dull, which is rendered by the light that you can see here. Rembrandt is again very realistic. Of all these, Rembrandt is the most realistic one. But please take a note of the styles. Okay, it's very important. Okay, we'll move to the next one, which is this. Here, what is given is there's a shape which is given A. And when this shape is extruded is when a shape is made a 3D. So this when extruded, when made a 3D, where vertical dimension, a z-axis gets added to the 2-dimensional shape, you get a cuboid, which is the form B that you see here. What is the question is, how many surfaces will be extruded to form C? The shape C, which is given, when that shape is extruded, how many surfaces will this shape have? Now here, you don't have to actually make the form. You don't have to, make the 3D of it and then count the surfaces individually. Please don't do that. What happens is in extrusion is whatever is the edge becomes a surface. So if this is a line or an edge, that line or an edge becomes a surface like this. Another line or an edge becomes another surface like this. The third one becomes another surface like that, which happens at the back. And the bottom, fourth one, becomes another surface, which happens here. Besides this, a form will always have a top and a bottom, which is the 2 surface which gets added in addition to the number of lines or edges that are there. So in this kind of question, all you have to do is, since line becomes a surface, count the number of lines that are there in the shape that is given to you. So this snowflake kind of shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It has this Y, which you can see here. There are 8 lines here. This kind of Ys are happening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 Ys such as this are happening. So 8 into 6 is how much?
48.
48. So there will be 48 lines here, which means 48 surfaces, correct? This 48 plus we have to find, what we missed out are these surfaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 48 plus 6 is how much? 54.
50.
So there are 54 lines in the form C, which means 54 lines will be converted to surfaces such as these, which you are able to see in the cuboid. There'll be 54 surfaces plus the top surface and the bottom surface, right? Plus 2. The top surface, which is 1, versus the bottom surface. The top surface versus the bottom surface, which is plus 2. And 54 plus 2, you get 56, which is the total number of surfaces that the extruded solid will have. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So whenever you're given this operation, extruding literally means adding a z-axis to the two-dimensional geometry. And when you add the z-axis and you have to find the total number of surfaces in the resulting form, all you have to do is count the number of lines that are there in the shape. The lines will become the third dimensional z-axis surfaces. So that you get the surfaces plus the top surface and plus the bottom surface, which is what the black color is seen here and here. So that's why the total number of surfaces in the shape that will be formed by extruding the shape C is 56. Sorry. Anybody has any doubt here? Okay, take care. Here you are basically given some sequence. There is some relationship between this box, first box and the second box, second and the third and the fourth box. You have to find what number will replace this question mark that is there in the fourth box. So sorry, there's a relationship between this box internally. The same relationship is happening here. And this same relationship is happening here between all these four boxes, and the same relationship will happen eventually here. So you have to find what will replace here. There's one relationship only in this. There are not two or more. Is anybody able to find the relationship that is there in the boxes?
Ma'am, the bottom two boxes, if we multiply that, the answer, like ma'am, 6 into 6, 36, 2 into 8, 16, like that.
Yes, that's correct. That's absolutely correct. So the bottom two numbers that are there in the four boxes, this bottom two number, when you find the product of this number, 6 into 6, you get the top box, which is 36. 2 into 8, you get the top box, 16. 7 into 6, you get a top box, 42. 9 into 4, you get the top box, 36. So 6 is the number which should replace the question mark that way. Is that clear? Anybody has any question here in this? Okay. Here you're given some map where black is are the roads. There is a city on the west side and there's a city on the east side. And in between that you can see a green colored square patch, that is a forest. So in order to move from city on the west to city on the east, you have to pass through the forest, and then there are these different routes which you can take. What you have to find is how many unique routes are there without tracing any portion of the route. What are the unique number of routes? Okay, you have found 6 maybe. Okay. Finding. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. There are problem with your question, with your answers. We haven't got the correct answer basically. Whoever is written in the chat box. None of that is the correct answer. Okay. Yes, Janvi, yes. Janvi and Ananya, your answers are correct. Kritika, your answer is wrong. Shaivi, your answer is wrong. Madhav, your answer is wrong. 1. Okay. Chalo. Now, one thing for sure, there is some issue with this question. The last part which is there, if we the answer which is there in the answer key actually rejects the last part which is there in this, that is without retracing. That is without retracing. Yeah, sorry, without retracing any part of the route. I just trace certain routes from here, and you just, all you need to do after that is connect the 3. So I'll just mark 1, 2, 3, A, B, and C. We have to move from A to from 1 to A, 2 to A, and 3 to A. I'm going to mark certain lines in between, okay? Sorry. There is blue. You can see the three different colored lines: blue, orange, red, and pink. You can see that? So all you need to do is then connect the lines. So one from point one, you can basically, I'll just use a different color now. One second. Yeah. So from point one, you just need to connect all these lines. And from one, you can get 4 different paths. From the point two, you will again, you just have to connect these lines at this point, and then you'll get 4 different paths. And then from point 3, same thing, you connect it from here. So blue, it gets the blue line which is there comes like this. Other line which is pink happens like this. The red line which is there connects like this, and the orange line which is there connects like this. So that's why from each path 1, 2, and 3, you get 4 different routes, and 4 into 3 is 4 into 3 is the number 12. So there is some issue with this, and I have actually ignored this, but I got this answer that way. Okay.
So ma'am, if we consider without retracing, then the answer will be 0, right?
If we consider without retracing wala part, the answer will be 1. If we consider this without retracing, then the answer will be 1, because this is the part where you will be always tracing the route. ये वाला जो last part है, this part is the one where you will always be tracing. You will be always walking on that path, irrespective of which path that you follow, first, second, or third. So without the retracing one, the answer will be 1. But if I ignore that condition, then it will be answer 12. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Second. Yeah. Any doubts anybody has? Okay. So there's a well in which there are 2 lizards. One is a red lizard and one is a green lizard. The wall is slimy. The wall of the well is slimy, and hence when climbing, the lizards, they fall down. After climbing something, they fall down a shorter distance. In each attempt, the green lizard climbs 3 feet and it falls down by 1 feet. While the red lizard, it climbs 4 feet, but it falls down 2 feet. The height of the wall is 10 feet, and you have to find who will reach the top of the wall in fewer attempts. Here your answer is wrong. Manam, your answer is wrong. Tanisha, your answer is correct. Ananya Patel, your answer is wrong. Yes, Janvi, your answer is correct. Shaivi, Ria, your answer is wrong. Pant, your answer is wrong. Kritika, your answer is wrong. Okay. Sure. What happens here? Let's just analyze the condition. Green lizard, green lizard which is there, it climbs 3 feet and then falls down 1 feet. Effective total distance is 2 feet. The red lizard climbs 4 feet, falls down 2 feet. The effective total is 2 feet. The effective distance traversed is 2 feet, both for both of them. This happens till third attempt. Till third attempt, the distance traced by red is 6 feet. Distance traced by the green one is also 6 feet. The next, in the fourth attempt, what happens is the green lizard, it traces 3 feet, which when it reaches almost 9 feet. After 6 feet, in the fourth attempt, the lizard retraces 3 feet because it can climb 3 feet and then it falls down by 1 feet. So 6 plus 3, it reaches a height of 9 feet. And it hasn't reached the top yet. It's still on the wall. So after 9 feet, it will fall down by 1, and henceforth it will be at 8 feet. After this attempt, in the fifth attempt, yes, the green lizard will reach the top. This is the fourth attempt. Okay, I'm saying for the red one, after tracing after the third attempt, when it has reached a 6 feet height, it will climb 4 feet. With the 4 feet climb, it will have reached the top of the wall, which is the 10 feet. And that's where in the fourth attempt, the red lizard will have reached the top in the fourth attempt, versus the green one will reach the top in the fifth attempt, not in the fourth attempt. And thus option C is the correct one here. Is that clear? Anybody has any doubt in this? Dhrumin, the red one won't come down because it has already reached the top. 10 feet is the top of the wall. So if the lizard has already reached the top, there is no coming down from there. The top of the wall is a surface, right? It's a horizontal surface. So it won't come down from the horizontal surface. Okay. Anybody has any doubt here? Any questions, any doubts, any confusion? This is a little bit tricky. Just by the first equation, when you place both the things together, you will say, okay, 2 feet, 2 feet, which means that both the lizards will reach at the same attempt. You really have to break it down the 10 feet height. There's a reason why the 10 feet of the height of the wall was given. You have to break it down in terms of the attempts made by both of them. That's where the 10 feet helps you. Okay. ठीक है, चलो. We'll move to the next one then. Yeah. So there's this, there are color systems, RGB, red, green, and blue color system. In RGB color system, the value for each color component varies from 0 to 25. In a CM/K, this is just for your understanding, a CM/K series, which stands for cyan, yellow, magenta, and key. CM/K is C for cyan, M for magenta, Y for yellow, and K for KEY, key. A CM/K series comes in percentage from 0 to 100% versus RGB system color comes from 0 to 255 value. So in a CM/K series, if this question is asked, you will be given percentage from which varies from 0 to 100, 100 being full value tint and 0 being zero tint, which corresponds to the color black. Versus in an RGB system, it changes from 0 to 255, where 255 is full color red or full color green or full color blue. And middle is where the shade varies of red or blue or green or its combinations. In this system, you are given the values where red is full color 255. Green is added in that, which is 140 value. 140 lies somewhere in between 0 to 255. Somewhere in between, it's approximately you have to assume. And blue is 0. There is no value of blue getting added. Then which color we will get in that system? No, here and Tanisha, it won't be C. No, it's not C. No, that is wrong, Mother.
Can you please explain again?
Yeah. So there is, one second. So there is an RGB system. And then there is a CM/K system. CM/K. So RGB system, color system corresponds to red, green, blue. Literally, you have to take it that way. And its value of each of these color component changes from 250 to 255. In a CM/K system, where the values of C, M, Y, and K, which is cyan, C for cyan, M for magenta, Y for yellow, and K for key, KEY key, which is the color black. The key value corresponds to the color black. This value changes from 0 to 100%. This is in percentage, CM/K. So when in this case you are given C 100% and M to be 40%, which means that the resulting color is a combination of cyan and magenta. In the other case, in RGB, when you're given R to be 255 in this case, and G to be 140 and B to be 0, which means the resulting color is a combination of red color and green color. So when red and green color are combined together, you will get the resulting color, because there is no value of blue that is given, which is 0. So what you have to find is what is the resulting color when you have R to value to be so much high. R value is so much high and G value is little bit less compared to that. Okay. So I'll just move to the next page and then you will get the answers there. Okay. I'll just show you a diagram, you will get the answer. Okay. And you try to draw that diagram, how it is drawn. Okay. Not exactly like this, but at least write the colors, red, blue, green, and then what happens in between, which is cyan, yellow, and magenta. So now can anybody tell me where exactly will this lie? Which color will come? It will be this orange color that you're seeing here. It will be this color, orange. It will come in this tone. Now in this case, the color blue is not added here. So there is no variation that, you jump directly to brown. There is no darker tint. This is just shows red as full value and green as partial value. Since red is in full value, this tone has to be closer to red because red is a higher value. One second. Because red is a higher value, it has to be closer to red. And green is partial value, so it won't come here, but it will always move closer on that side. I won't be looking in this direction because I'm not told anything about gradation or any other value, which is, if you look at the last one, B to be 0, I can clearly see that there is no darker thing which is getting added. So I won't go to brown here. I will say brown is not possible. It can be orange is the only logical conclusion to arrive here, because it's literal tint, it's actual tint of red getting added. So more of red, less of green, which makes me to this combination of orange that directly. In this kind of question, you might not be able to remember this whole color thing as is. Just remember that much. Sorry for my drawing, but Rgb, and the secondary colors in this system are CMY. This is M, which is magenta. This is yellow, and this is cyan. Between red and yellow, you will get orange. Between yellow and green, you will get lime green. Between cyan and green, you will get some kind of a green, like a different kind of tone green, which is bluish green kind of thing combination. Between blue and cyan, you will get a different tone, a grayish blue kind of tone. Between blue and magenta, you will get something like a violet, somewhere a darker violet tone. Between magenta and red, you will get a pink. So I would suggest you to just quickly make a short, small drawing of this, like just write this value, and you can very easily place by these values, R25, G140. I can say that it will fall somewhere in this, along this tangent, along this pi, it will fall. So that brings me directly to orange as a color, since value of blue is 0. Okay. Okay. Any doubts anybody has? Anybody wants to ask anything? All right, take it. So this is a somewhat calculation based question. It's very simple actually.
So, ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah.
Ma'am, in the previous question, if the value of blue is also given, then ma'am, how will it be done?
If the value of blue was given, in which case it will move along the vertical, little bit along the vertical, if the value of blue was given. Blue is a darker tone. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So in, we'll go to this. Here there is a film which was projected at 90 feet per minute. So 90 feet roll will run for a minute, basically, 90 feet per minute. How many frames will be present in once? I have to take this call. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry. So there is a roll of 90 minute of a 90 feet of a film which runs for 1 minute. I will just write down that value. 90 feet runs for 1 minute. How many frames will be present in 1 feet of a film? Now, for your information, a film runs at 24 frames a second. In a film, this is a given value. If you want, you can make a note of it. There are 24 frames present in a minute, in a second. This is a default value. It can change, but it can change from different quality, and of course, but then this is a kind of a default value which you can assume, unless and until there's some other value which is mentioned. So 24 frames per second, FPS is the short form, 24 FPS. Okay, 24 frames per second. So within 1 minute, the number of frames will be how many? If 24 frames are projected per second, so 24 into 60. That will be equal to 1440. Is that right? 24 to, yeah, 1440 frames. Okay, so within a minute, 1440 frames are present, which we will write here. So a 90 feet film within a minute, when a film is projected for 90 feet and it runs for a minute, there will be 1440 frames in the minute. So can you count from this information? Can you count how many frames will be present in 1 feet? From in 90 feet, if I'll just move this again here. If in 90 feet 1440 frames are present, then in 1 feet, how many frames will be present? Can anybody tell me? 1440 upon 90?
16 frames.
16 frames. So the correct answer is option C, 16 frames. In this thing, just remember, this is if you are not given how many frames per second, how many FPS, assume it to be 24 FPS. Okay. If you are not given, if you're given, then take the value that is there. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can we take one more? This is fairly simple. This is last one, and then we'll end this session. So this figure, this image which you're given is an example of what? Again, I would suggest you to, search what is a palindrome and what is an ambigram. The last two words, lysandrome and inwardrome, they are basically just made up. I don't think so there's anything like a lysandrome or an inwardrome. At least I haven't come across any of this. Yes, there is a palindrome and there is something called an ambigram. And this image which you see is an example of an ambigram, actually. It's a palindrome is words which you can read forward and backwards the same, like a church, CHURCH. If you invert that, you still, not a race car, sorry, not a church. A church is something else, sorry. Like a race car, if you invert that, even then you get a race car only, basically. Or a madam, like MADAM. If I invert it, if I write the letters from backward, I will still get a madam, which is a palindrome. And ambigram is somewhere when you rotate this. So if I rotate this figure like this, I still get the same spelling. That is called an ambigram. So I rotate this 180 degree and I will still get the same spelling as I'm able to see it here. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. The last two options in this question, I think they're just to confuse people, but there is nothing called a lysandrome or an inwardrome. Palindrome, yes, you should know. A race car word is an example of a palindrome. An ambigram is somewhere where you rotate a word and you still get the same. Okay, just remember that much. Yeah, so with this, we will end this session.